Michael, thank you. We are hearing from state lawmakers on both sides of the aisle this morning after this week's COVID-19 related special session.
Yeah, lawmakers blocked vaccine and mask mandates coming from public schools or government entities, and House Speaker Cameron Sexton says it's about parents' rights, but State Representative Gloria Johnson from our region says this is about protecting students.
Well, I think the big points that we were able to pass last night in agreement with the Senate was protecting Tennesseans from mandatory vaccinations, protecting the parents' right to make the decision of for their children whether or not to wear a mask in school and protect their health rights.
Private schools can have masks, but public schools can't unless in severe circumstances. You know, why are we protecting kids in private schools but not protecting kids in public schools?
Now, there is an exception to the state ban on mask mandates for schools and government entities. If a county has 1,000 new infections per 100,000 residents, they can implement a mandate. That hasn't happened yet in Tennessee. And this does not mean school systems in Tennessee currently under a mandate, well, will be heading to school maskless, even if the changes are signed into law.
Yeah, Knox County and 2 other districts have mask mandates after rulings from federal judges. State Senator Richard Briggs says the legal repercussions of that special session will need to be worked out.
The judge would have to issue a separate order for that or not. We're going to have to, it gets very complicated, the legal aspects of it, and there's even some disagreement with the attorneys on what that actually means. I don't think the law will affect the appeal at all. That's all in the court system. That's going to be determined by the judges in the appellate court.
Well, the bill that passed overnight Friday does prevent many businesses from requiring a person to get the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, that's directly at odds with the OSHA change from the Biden administration that directed all employers with more than 100 workers to require vaccinations or weekly COVID-19 testing.
Next week, OSHA is coming out with rules. They could be different than what we just passed. And we all know that federal law trumps state law.
What we did is we set forth a policy and we put in place a House Joint Resolution asking the Attorney General to represent Tennesseans in the General Assembly when the OSHA regulations come out, which we think are unconstitutional and attacks on the employee and employer. And so we look forward to having our day in court, pushing back on the federal government and winning for Tennessee.
Now, we heard from a law professor on this issue Friday. He says under the U.S. Constitution, even the lowliest federal regulation will outweigh a state law.
People as it sees fit. But there's one big caveat. It cannot do something that's inconsistent with federal law. So if any of the things that Tennessee is about to enact are inconsistent with the OSHA regulations that President Biden is proposing, or other statutes or laws that the federal government has passed, well, then those laws will be preempted, as we say. They will be unconstitutional because when federal law and state law conflict, federal law wins every time.
Now, Governor Lee tweeted after the new measures. He wrote in part, "We are evaluating each piece of legislation to ensure we push back on harmful federal policies and do right by Tennesseans." Governor Lee has not signed the bill into law yet. We'll keep you updated.